In today's video, we're going to be talking about our must-have travel essentials when it comes to packing our medical kit for pretty much every single trip. This is something that we have dialed in over the years and feel super prepared, as well as feel like we're not overpacking. So let's get into all the details of what we pack in our medical kit. Packing a medical kit can actually be a quite difficult task for people. There's so many different products out there and there's so many different drugs and medications that it can be easy to want to bring everything. But hopefully after today's video, you have a really good understanding of what you're gonna actually need on a trip, as well as some tips and tricks on how to pack it efficiently. One final note before we get started here is everything that I'm talking about in today's video are general medications and first aid things that we pack for every single trip. This list here is not trip specific. There might be some medications and some things that you need to bring specifically for one trip. For example, when we were traveling to Southeast Asia, we had some malaria medication with us. So I'm not gonna go into the nitty-gritty details of what you might need on every single trip, but this list right here should be good for any trip. And like I said, these are medications and first aid items that we bring on every single trip, no matter where we're going. So now let's get into the details of all of these things. Starting in the back here, we'll start in the back, work our way to the front. This first bottle here is a melatonin bottle. And melatonin is great to help induce sleep or help you fall asleep. This is something that we bring with us on every trip just because, as we know, long travel days, it can be hard on your sleep and it can mess up your sleep schedule. Now, we don't bring this entire bottle, and I'll show you how we pack this later in the video, but melatonin can be a great option for you if you're somebody that struggles with sleep, especially when you're traveling. So this is something we bring on every trip. The next one is a staple. This is ibuprofen. This is something that most people might have with them every single day of their lives, but for us as well, especially when we're traveling, we wanna make sure we have enough ibuprofen for any sort of aches and pains that we might have. Next, we have a sunscreen stick. This is kinda nice because we don't have to worry about the liquids. You can really put it on anywhere. We use it a lot for our face and arms and such. But just a good item to have, sunscreen, obviously protecting from the sun. Next, we have some Tums or an antacid. Meg really likes these for travel, but you can just get normal ones. She thinks these taste like bubble gum and she just likes the way they taste. Anyway, these are extra strength. This is actually probably one of our most used thing in our medication kit, depending on where we're traveling. When we were traveling in Asia and our diet is significantly different, we would literally just have one of these every single night to keep our stomach in order. And these things are pretty easy to pack, and it's hard to honestly pack enough of these, but whatever kind you like, whether it's like a name brand or the off-brand kind, Tums or antacids can be really, really nice. Next, we have an allergy medication or an antihistamine. This can be really, really helpful just in case you have an allergic reaction, whether it be some sort of bug bite or an allergic reaction to some food. This is a staple that you should definitely have in your medical kit. Neosporin, this is another standard. If you get any cuts, anything like that, it's good to make sure you have some of this because you wouldn't want to get anything infected when you're traveling. Visine. This is another really important one that we use quite often, being that traveling is inherently dry, right? When you're traveling through the airport, sitting on airplanes, your eyes can get scratchy and itchy, or maybe like this last medication, the allergy medication, you might have an allergic reaction, and having some Visine is really important. Next, we have Dramamine. Dramamine is really nice for anti-nausea medication. If you're somebody that gets motion sickness, whether you're traveling on a cruise or by boat, or maybe you get motion sickness just on a plane, or you get car sickness, having some Dramamine with you is really nice. This is a nice little travel packet. This next one is a little bit unusual, and I have promoted it in my videos before because I really like it, and this is a ginger chew. A ginger chew. Ginger chews are really good for easing the stomach. So again, if you're somebody that gets motion sickness a lot, or just in general an upset stomach, ginger is really good for your stomach. And having these to chew on in the plane or in a car ride can really ease the stomach and ease some tension of travel. Next, we have anti-itch cream. This is really nice, just kind of a comfort item for us, being that it's the worst when you have mosquito bites or bug bites and they itch. Now we have some Element. Now this is an electrolyte packet, which is really, really important for travel. We never travel without electrolytes, being that it's so easy to get dehydrated when you're traveling, and having some electrolytes will help you retain some of that water. So right now I have Element, but I've used things like Liquid IV or Noon. All are fine. It's whatever your preference is. We've been really liking Element lately, so we always make sure to have a few travel packs of this with us. This next one is probably the most life-saving medication that we bring, and it just looks like some blue pills here, but this is ammonium, or anti-diarrheal. This comes really handy in the time of need, as you can probably imagine, especially if you are having different diets and you're eating different foods. You never know when your stomach is going to act up, and you want to be prepared. So this will help you from obviously having diarrhea when you're traveling, which is a very, very convenient thing to have. You might never use it. Hopefully you never have to use it. I really hope you never have to use it, but I've had to use it before, and it is a lifesaver when you're traveling. Another one that has to do with the stomach here, and you maybe recognize from these pink pills, and this is Pepto-Bismol. Another stomach reliever, and is something that is nice to have on hand, being that it doesn't take up a ton of space. You can probably see here a lot of these medications relate to the stomach, as you want to have your stomach in order when you're traveling. It's really, really important. Next here, we just have a few cough drops. This can be really nice for travel, being that, as I was saying before, travel's really dry, and just having something to ease the throat can be nice, so we always travel with some cough drops as well. Next here we have some bug spray. These are just some bug spray wipes, which can be really nice depending on the destination, but we actually travel with this everywhere because you never know when you're going to be outside and you need a little bit of relief from the bugs, so having these wipes are really nice, which also is convenient because they're not like, it's not liquid, so TSA doesn't mind these too much. Just a little bit easier to travel with. You don't have to worry about a bug spray bottle like spilling in your bag or something. So we've really liked these wipes. Here, pretty self-explanatory, a little Band-Aid package. Never know when you're gonna cut yourself. And then last but not least here, we have this pill case, which I'm gonna talk about in a second when I go over how we pack all of this stuff. But in general, this is what we pack for every single trip. You can see that we have some pain relievers, we have a lot of things that have to do with your stomach, we have, some things that are going to keep you hydrated, whether it's electrolytes or some Visine. The main reason I'm doing this video right now is because actually we're headed out on a trip tomorrow, and I figured what a great time to just make this video, being that I'm getting all this stuff put together. Now when it comes to packing everything, you want to pare down as much as possible for obvious reasons. Less stuff equals less stress, especially when it comes to medications. It's easier getting through TSA and all that stuff. So things like this or this, you're going to want to pare this down to something that's going to be more manageable. So usually with our big bottles, this ibuprofen, melatonin, and these Tums, we go ahead and just put this in a Ziploc bag. We'll usually label the Ziploc bag with a Sharpie or something like that to make sure we know obviously what it is, as well as it's going to cut back on space, being that we don't have to bring this full package. And sometimes this packaging is just kind of bulky. Another pro tip for you that we do often is, oftentimes like this ammonium, this will come in like a bigger box with a ton of air and space around it. So what we'll do is we'll take the pills out of the box and we'll just carry just this thing. But what we'll then also do is we'll take the back of the box and we'll cut out the instructions. So that way we know what to do with the specific medication when we get to our destination, how many to take, how often to take it, as well as we're not carrying the box. This can also be really, really great for TSA, because sometimes TSA will want to check to see what medication it is, and if you have like this card, it's just a little bit better proof to show what kind of drug it is, so that way you don't run into any issues with TSA. So this is something that saves us a lot of space as well. And then all of this stuff will go in something like this. Now this is a really crappy like clear TSA bag. Has an M on it for Meg. But all of our stuff fits in this one bag, which I would highly recommend trying to keep it to just one small bag. But there's definitely nicer ones out there than this. This one doesn't even have a zipper on one side. So I would definitely find something a little bit nicer, but all of this stuff will go right in here. So let's do that. So now we are left with a nicely packed medical kit that is great for a personal item and or carry-on. As well as we are left with this. So let me explain what this kind of pill holder is and what I use it for. I don't have a good name for it yet, so let me know down in the comments after I explain what I use it for, if I can give it a name. I want to call it just like my everyday kit or my emergency kit. But basically what this is a smaller version of this. And why do I have a smaller version of this? And why is it so important? Well, in here, what I have is I have a smaller dose of basically every single item that I have in here. So in here I have some melatonin, I have some Dramamine, I have some Pepto-Bismol, I have mints, I have a cough drop, I have some ibuprofen, some Tums, and a ginger chew. This is perfect for travel because it is a quick access option. So not only is this great for traveling when you're in the airport or on a plane and you're like, dang it, I just need some ibuprofen quick. Well, what I'll do is I'll put this in a really accessible part of either my personal item or my suitcase or even on my body, like in my pocket. So that way I have quick access to those medical needs. Maybe you get off a plane and you're like, dang it, my breath stinks, I need a mint quick. Boom, pull this out, you're ready to go. This allows for much quicker access than this. So Meg and I will both pack one of these, and this little pill holder I got just from Amazon. It was like insanely cheap. I can't remember the price, but you got like 3 of them in a pack. I'll make sure to link them below. But I will also bring this with us when we are in a destination, going out to a restaurant or on a food tour or some sort of excursion. I can literally just slide this thing in my pocket so I'm ready to go and I don't have to bring this entire big thing. So whenever we're packing for any trip, we always pack our main medical kit as well as this kind of quick access emergency medical kit. So this was a pretty quick rundown of every single thing that we bring in our medical kit for pretty much every single trip. Let me know if you have any questions down in the comments about any of these items that we're packing. As well as I would love to hear from you if you have any recommendations for things that I can add to my medical kit. Maybe you have a recommendation for things that I can add to my quick access emergency medical kit, so that way Meg and I are better prepared for our travels. We're always looking to improve our packing lists and always looking to improve how we can be more prepared for our travels. So let me know down in the comments if you have any additional recommendations. I hope this video gave you a good idea of things that you should maybe have packed for your next trip, as well as give you a little bit of confidence that you don't need to bring everything under the sun to be prepared. If you enjoyed this video, I would also highly recommend checking out the video we made about how to efficiently pack your liquids for TSA. I feel like medications and liquids kind of go hand in hand when it comes to TSA, and there are some tips and tricks to navigate those situations smoothly, so I'd also highly recommend checking out that video. If you enjoyed this one though, please give it a thumbs up, as well as subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. We will see you in the next video. Whew.